what is up guys, Anubhav here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and as you guys have already read the title, today we're talking about the LG Wing, which is this crazy T-shaped Android smartphone with two different screens. And even though it was released actually quite a few months ago, the very fact that LG has currently stopped producing mobile phones in the future, and also the fact that they want their units to be moved out as fast as possible, which is why there's an insane off going on right now on Flipkart, where you can grab one of these flagship devices which usually retail for 80,000 Indian rupees for just 30,000 rupees. So I bought this from Flipkart. It's not a review unit provided by LG. And I keep thinking, is this a phone that most of you guys would like to own? With that said, in today's video, we're taking a look at some of the key features of the LG Wing, talking about my first impressions, what I feel about it, and whether this phone is for you or not. If that sounds interesting, feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started. Alright, first things first, what is very striking to me is the weight of this phone. Now, when you pick it up for the first time, it is actually quite heavy than any other phone that I have ever held. And that obviously has a lot to do from the fact that you can literally swivel the phone from the right side to flip it into this crazy two-screen layout with the top screen and a screen at the bottom. Now it is heavy, but it is not heavy in a bad way. Now what I mean by that is that because this phone feels so premiumly built, even though you're buying it for 30,000, it's still built as a flagship with top of the line materials. It's got this really nice reflective back, which honestly looks very cool and very premium, at least to me. Of course, it's a fingerprint magnet, but if you can keep it clean with these colorful microfiber cloths that you can find very easily on Amazon, this is a very beautiful phone to look at. And of course, the weight just adds to that premiumness of it. Now, with that said, let's talk about the design and the layout of the phone. So the phone has this beautiful, huge screen, might I add, which is Full HD in resolution, doesn't have a fast refresh rate, but I'm just gonna quickly pull the box over here and talk about the key features that this has. So over here on the phone, as you can see, it's got a 6.8-inch flawless POLED full vision display. It's obviously got swivel mode, a gimbal motion camera that I'm very excited to try out, and dual recording, front facing as well as rear facing at the same time. Now, with the design out of the way, let's talk about obviously the main thing, the quality of the screen when you swivel it. Now, of course, when you swivel it for the first time, the phone automatically turns itself on. I really like the fact that the wallpaper, the default wallpaper, continues through the bottom display as soon as you swivel it into this mode. And of course, this has a lot of crazy use case scenarios that you guys can use to make sure that the phone looks really well as functions, because a lot of you might be thinking that, alright Anubhav, this is really cool, but what is the point of this? Why would anybody want a phone that does this, other than the fact that they can just say that, hey, my phone does this and your phone doesn't? What is the point of it? Well, that's where LG's entire software integration comes into play. So not only is this phone orientation specific, so it's gonna work in different orientations no matter where you put it on. This can be useful in some special use case scenarios, but as you guys can see at the main page, you've got a bottom area or a tray of applications that you can open, and of course another area where you can open other apps. So I could very easily see myself watching a YouTube video at the biggest screen, or when you hold it like this, watching a YouTube video on the top, and then replying to a tweet, or talking to somebody, texting someone, and basically browsing social media at the bottom screen, since we could open Instagram over here, YouTube on the top, and we'd be good to go. That is a really cool thing. Multitasking, it's always been an option on Android, but I've never really found myself using it as much because of the low screen real estate. But I feel like with this, there is a lot of possibilities, because you've literally got a plethora of different applications and you can do whatever you want with it. You can open any app at the top and any app at the bottom. It's really great. Of course, when we talk about the build, we also have to talk about the fact that at the back, when you hold it, let's say in this orientation, it sort of feels very weak and it's not really comfortable, because this over here seems like plastic and this is extremely thin, as you guys can see. So when you'll be holding the phone like this, it won't be very comfortable. For example, you can play Asphalt 9 over here and you can have the map at the top. I'm gonna showcase that in the future, but that's about it for the design. Now let's talk about a couple of use case scenarios, and starting with obviously the most obvious one, which is the gimbal mode. Now the gimbal mode is basically a camera controlled ultra wide lens. So for example, over here you've actually got three sensors, a primary sensor, an ultra wide sensor, and another sensor which has gimbal mode, taking advantage of the swivel thing. So for example, if I quickly grab a subject over here and if I place it in front of the camera, as you guys can see, I can use the joystick at the bottom to very easily pan through stuff, as you can see, and I can pan to the top as well as to the bottom. You can see the camera over there shooting me, and at proper daylighting conditions you can also do the lock thing, which keeps the object in frame even if you move the phone out of it. It is really cool. You've also got a couple of gimbal modes: first person mode, follow mode, and pan follow mode, and there's a handy little calibration here at the bottom, and if you click on the set calibration button again, it just calibrates it once again. This is really cool. I can see myself using this because it feels great because you can control the camera with the joystick. This is absolutely insane. A couple of other things that you can do other than open up applications straight from multitasking trays and whatnot is of course gaming. So there's Asphalt 9, as I said, pre-installed, and if you've watched MKBHD's video of this, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. You can play the game at the biggest screen like this, and you can have the map at the top or the other way around, vice versa. It feels really great, a pretty proper use case scenario. But that's the thing, there are not really a bunch of other uses for this, and no matter how much you try to justify it, at the end of the day it's not really a proper flagship, at least by 2021 standards, because it has got a 765G and 8 gigabytes of RAM along with 128 gigs of storage. Now keep in mind, this phone is still gonna blaze through everything that you throw at it. It's gonna be really good at most of the things, and probably you won't face any hiccups. But if you're even paying 30,000 rupees for this, can you really find a use for this, is the question that we should be asking ourselves. And I'm just gonna hold my opinions right there, because I actually want to use this phone for at least a couple of more days to formulate my own thesis of why this is a phone that I can recommend or I cannot recommend to you guys. But until then, be sure to stay subscribed, like this video. As I said, this was just an initial impressions video that I wanted to keep raw and unfiltered. I did not want to add a lot of things to it. With that said, if you guys did enjoy this, feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. This is Anubhav signing out. I'll catch you guys next time. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. Peace out.